Alright, so, no intro this time. This is probably gonna be, like, really shittily edited and, kinda, lesser quality than my normal videos. But I just wanted to talk about this because I missed my chance to talk about, the Valentine's one. So, this time we're going in just a couple minutes, after I got notified it was posted anyways today. The Deltarune Spring 2024 newsletter, or, mini newsletter. Okay, so right off the bat here, we have, the multicolored flowers from Asgore's flower shop. And, Flowey's there too, but that's just, whatever. He's just there because there's other flowers there, and Toby Fox likes to, put Undertale and Deltarune characters in here, goofing around and showing up, so whatever. He's not important. But, a very popular fan theory, and one that I personally am subscribed to because it's my favorite of all the choices, is that the secret boss of Chapter 3 is going to be the set of flowers that Asgore keeps sending Toriel that she keeps discarding or throwing away in the house trash can. And I feel like this kind of confirms that, because it's one thing to have Flowey there, but to have the other colored flowers from his shop right at the start is kind of, it's weird. It's very out of place and weird for it to not be something, in my opinion anyway. So I think if this means anything, I think that's pretty good confirmation that the Chapter 3 secret boss will be the discarded flowers from Asgore. On the topic of that, they are not connected to the TV, they're in the kitchen, which means that the Dark World is probably actually going to be an entire Dreamer House themed Dark World, as opposed to just the TV, and the TV is probably going to be the main section of it. But it seems if the flowers are part of the Dark World, then that would have to imply that the entire house is the Dark World, which is cool. I like that. So I think there's a pretty good chance now that that theory is confirmed as well. So he goes on about, whatever. I'll be touching on the important dialogue here. Then we have a little animation here of Asgore and Undyne, which, fittingly enough, Undyne being part of Chapter 3, I feel like that confirms it as well, her being here. Especially because Asgore is here as well. Come on. So far, I think we have confirmation now of Full House Dark World, Flowers is the secret boss, Undyne is now, obviously Undyne was going to be a member, but now I feel like this confirms that Undyne is in Chapter 3, and Asgore is just there to, confirm, hammer it in more that it's the flowers from Asgore as the secret boss. I think they're cutting up Hedge. I think it's supposed to be Alphys. Then we scroll down more, and we have another animation of Papyrus watering the all the flowers, and including Flowey. It's not a good visual gag. Shut up, Papyrus Knight fans. This doesn't prove anything. This doesn't prove a damn thing. He's in all the newsletters. This doesn't prove anything. So he says here, blah blah blah, too long didn't read here, basically, because I have read this before making the video, by the way. I'm just going through it here and trying to hit up all the important things. Basically, this first block of text is him saying that all the new hires and the new producer, that the development is going at the faster pace that it was intended to, and everything's going really well. And I don't know if he says here, maybe it's in a different section, but in a different section, Toby says that they feel like they're gonna reach the internal deadline for the chapters to be done. But anyways, I think it might be here. Yeah, right here. Chapter 4 development is going better than ever. We are, my mouse is in the way. We are on track to meet our internal deadline. The new hires are already making a great difference to improve the atmosphere and feel of this chapter. I feel really good about this, champ. So current progress here. I think this is for Chapter 3? I meant Chapter 4. This is what happens when you go unscripted with recording audio. Anyways, for Chapter 4, this is the current progress on it. Cutscenes, only a few ones left, some tough ones. Other than that, needs polish. So, by a tough cutscenes, I assume that has to do with, just important things. Toby did say that Chapter 4 is going to be a return to a more story-driven, basic, in quotes, chapter, more mainline kind of styled, as in how chapter 1 and 2 were. So, you know, some tough cutscenes, I'd imagine, would be like, we'll probably get some more exposition about the roaring or the legend or whatever from Ralsei. Probably some pre-chapter 4 secret boss stuff. Considering chapter 4 is most likely in the church, already that sounds like it's going to be graphically demanding, so I'm sure there's going to be some really flashy cutscenes, so, you know, just stuff like that. Battles. All of the attacks are technically done, but still trying to improve the flow of the bosses. Flow of the bosses, I mean, to me, that's pretty obvious. That just seems like bullet patterns. You know, just how smooth the fluidity of the bullet patterns are, probably making them feel less choppy, making them feel more fluid. What else is here? Overworlds, here we are. This is compacted in there, I almost missed this. Overworlds still need to create around 10 maps and polish some others. I don't need to explain that one, that's simple enough, that explains itself. Gimmicks. A kind of complicated gimmick nearly has all of its iterations made. Geez, I can't read. Then there's then there's whatever needs to go on those 10 maps. And one more thing, a gimmick is something like the teacup ride from chapter 2. So, as he said, gimmicks, teacup ride, who knows? Who knows what that is? Maybe in chapter 4 we're like, I don't know, riding down a river of wine or whatever in the church, or fruit juice, I guess, because communion thing for the kids. In chapter 4's Dark World, who knows? Who knows? Anyways, the point is they're still mapping out stuff in chapter 4. Anyways, he says, after all that's done, everything needs to be flattened out with the steamroller of improvement and pacing. This takes an amount of time, fair enough. It is this is the exciting part of the newsletter. This is the big part. It is my hope that the next time I update you, a first pass of the entire chapter 4 will already be at least halfway crushed by the steamroller, and at least some of the team will move on over to chapter 5. So, Toby Fox usually does these newsletters, around every 2 months? So twice a month? So technically that means, if I'm just guessing here, the next time he updates us, chapter 4 will be halfway done. Which would be about, July, if it's May now? Because that would account for June, and then, yeah, July. So, July is the hope for the next time that when he contacts us, chapter 4 will be halfway done, which is great news. That's certainly farther along than I thought it was going to be. I thought maybe we were only about a quarter in, or at least a little under halfway, but being halfway exact is that's pretty good. That gives us a lot of hope for it coming out this year, folks. The other news is, despite the game making great progress, we can't discuss the release date yet. Even if chapter 4 is completed smoothly, there may be surprise factors, so we're not at the point where we can make a solid promise. That being said, we will let you guys know more as soon as we can. I can't wait for you guys to see more of the moments and characters I've had in my head for the past 8 years. In other words, the release is still quite far, but also a very real thing that is weighing on us more and more with each passing month. And yeah, that's a good point. A lot of Deltarune fans are getting hungry. They're clawing up their necks like basalt addicts here over chapter 4 and chapter 3 not being out yet. Relax, as he says, very good point. Every month, every day that passes, every minute that passes that we don't get it, they're working on it, you know. Have some patience. I know it's been 3 years. I want it as bad as you do, trust me. But we'll get there. So, we got good news. Chapter 4 is about halfway done, which is huge. And then we have this little animation here of Susie holding up Chris and Chris watering Ralsei, and then Ralsei's hat turns into sprouts a flower. I almost wonder if that's inspired by that one fan art of the trio here as the Pikmin characters, with Susie as the Bulbor or whatever. I wonder. I'll put that on screen if I can find it. It might be in my folder still. Anyways, next is the interview with Papyrus, which I am not going to be going over because that is something you should go read for yourself. This video is just to cover the news relating to Deltarune and the progress on 3 and 4. So Papyrus interview I'm not reading. We do have this animation here of, what even is this? It's Papyrus soiling the flowers. So we see him, he soils the flowers and the flower eats the fertilizer here. That's pretty in character, to be honest. Then we have, I didn't actually read this yet fully. I'm not going to cover it, but it's about Fallen Wing, a new song. Okay, yeah, so it's just a Toby Fox talking about he did another collab with some creator here. I don't know if that's Camellia or Camilla. I don't know how you. I mean, it's spelled like Camellia, but it might be pronounced. I'm not going to get into this one because I haven't read this yet, but it's not pertinent to the video discussion at the moment. But he has a. I think this is most likely a video link here to the actual song, and then we have another animation of what is this? That is Metaton, Mew Mew, and then Napster Blue hanging out by a tree. I like the way that tree is sprited. I'm assuming that was Temmie that did that. That's really well done. Actually, when I was first reading this, I thought it was the Eggman tree, and I had a heart attack for a second, just because I was reading it really fast, because I got it hyped that it came out. Anyway, conclusion, we have, oh, is it Sans? No, okay, that's, the GIF had to restart. The animation earlier is continued, while working on the Alphys hedge that Undyne and Asgore are making. Sans shows up behind it, and they jump on him to try and knock him off, and then they accidentally cut it up into a Sans hedge. But that's peak. This is peak animation. Then here, this is the end of the newsletter that pertains to us anyway. Like I said before, despite how much progress we are making, the release of the game is still far. I don't want anyone to burn out waiting for this, but we haven't burned out making it yet. Actually, the opposite. We're on fire. A lot. Ouch. And with that, we are finished off by a continuation image of that Papyrus fertilizing the flowers picture with him feeding, I'm gonna hope that's cat food, and not fertilizer, but he's feeding something to Mew Mew, or Mad Mew Mew, I suppose would be the proper name. So yeah, this is pretty good news all around, I think. We're almost or pretty much on the cusp of Chapter 4 being halfway done, and he says the next time he talks to us, which would be, if we can predict, that would be in July or around July-ish, maybe late June, who knows. If he's feeling like releasing it early, maybe late June. I'm hoping it's going to be in July. It's going to be in July. Anyways, the point is, we're getting closer. We're getting very closer. It's right around the corner. It's probably going to come out, maybe, if I had to give a just an honest, just off the top of my head guess, for when the Chapter 3 and 4 bundle would release. Man, I'd probably say maybe late July. No, not late July. No. Maybe August. Maybe late August, if I'm really huffing copium right here, and I'm really just trying to make an optimistic guess. I'm gonna say late August. I'm probably wrong, but off the top of my head, if I just had to go with what I'd hope for, late August, but I'm probably wrong. With that being said, though, that concludes this video. As I said, this one's just kind of a quick, wanted to let you guys know, wanted to cover this because I didn't get a chance to cover the last one. So yeah, good news all around here. My actual new videos are working on, one should be up very soon, but I took a break from editing that one to come record this real quick. So, thank you guys for watching, and with all that being said, I will see you guys in the next theory video, which pertains a little bit to this, so stay tuned. Bye.